Okay, we're back with the second part, the finishing part of the extended body Mayfly. And so we begin with a merger hook or a 2487 TMC 2487 in the vise and olive 8/0 thread already hanging. Let me bring you in nice and close so you can get a better look at what I'm doing. Alright, materials today, we're going to use egg yarn or a glow yarn for the post. I've just simply cut a strip off. You could also use parapost. We're going to be using olive dubbing for the body, for the thorax, and and I've got a grizzly dyed olive rooster cape hackle for dry fly hackle. So now we begin by bringing the thread back to about the barb and grabbing one of our extended bodies, which I tied in a previous video, and you kind of find the way that body wants to lay and where the tails are, and find a suitable length and bind that down. It's a little bit longer than I'd like. I'm going to snip this down. It's the neat thing about these bodies that I tie. If we need to make them shorter, we can just snip away the unwanted portion and tie on to the length we do want. That looks nice. Be careful to keep the body on top of the hook shank. We can snip away parts we don't need. Cut that at an angle. I've noticed that I can kind of taper it a little bit better. I do that before the post because if I find that if you put the post on first, it doesn't leave you a lot of room to work with the body. Now, here, I'm going to take our egg yarn next, tie that in with a pinch wrap. There we go. Bring it a little closer still. There you go. Got a pinch wrap on there. Now I will post it up, straight up. Wrap around the post. Stiffening the post, creating a post that my hackle will later wind down. With hackle, some people like to wind it up and down the post. I find that if I tie it properly, I only need to wind it down, especially if you've got high quality hackle. You can get away with winding it in one direction only. Alright, work the thread. I'm going to tie, close up that hook gap in the front, building ahead, and work my way back. Now this post is longer than I need, and it's only going to get in the way, so I'm going to strip away some of that extra. Alright, next I need to get my hackle. My hackle's already been stripped at the stem and ready. I like to tie with a shiny side facing forward. I'm going to bind it once to the shank of the hook. And my second wrap is going to be binding it to the post itself. Now I can work the thread up the post, stiffening the post even more. And back down. Okay. And here's where I'm going to get different from anything else you may have already seen. If you've seen some of my videos, you've seen me do this before, but with a parachute post, I don't tie my parachute post off at the eye. I tie my parachute off at the post itself. And so I'm going to show you how we do that here in a moment. Next I need to take some olive dubbing. I'm using Superfine waterproof dubbing. Just a little pinch. I'm going to dub my thorax. And wrap that around. A little bit more. I love the Superfine stuff. I tend to use that for all my dry flies. It dubs very, very tight, and you can therefore lay that wrap exactly where you want without the big fuzziness. Fuzziness works on nymphs, not so much on mayflies in my opinion. Okay, so now I've dubbed to my satisfaction. I'm going to let the thread hang right there at the thorax. I'm going to take my hackle and begin wrapping clockwise down the post. 2, 3, 4. 4 is really probably all I need, especially with this quality stuff. Now, I'm taking my thread and I'm wrapping my thread around the post. This is tying off my hackle onto the post. Now I can let go and it's not going anywhere. See if I can get you a better shot of that by turning the fly this way just a little bit. Now I can snip away the hackle, clean things up a bit, and here's the different part. I'm going to whip finish my fly on the post. So I take my whip finisher and I pretend the post is the hook shank. Takes a little getting used to for orienting yourself around it, but I'm wrapping this again in clockwise around the post. 2, 3. Now I don't have the issue of catching hackle fibers at the eye. Snip away my thread. Now this wing is far, far too big, of course, so we can now take the post, snip it down, and that beautiful thing about that glow yarn is it just fuzzes out. It doesn't absorb water very well, fuzzes out real nice, and you've got yourself an extended body blue wing olive mayfly. You can tie these bodies in yellow for PMDs. You can tie them in red for a red quill in your part of the country. You can tie them in olive or in gray, which is what I tend to do here in the Front Range in Colorado. I fish this on the South Platte. I fish it at 11 Mile Canyon, but frankly, anywhere you can find mayflies. This is about a size 16 tied on a size 18 hook. Good luck with it, and as always, leave comments. Let me know what you think.